epilepsy, yeah, I kind of know what it is, but I had no real understanding of how serious it was and how many people were affected by it. Well, my first seizure was some time ago. I think it was September 2020, something like that. And funnily enough, I don't remember that much about it because I was kind of out to it. But I finished up in hospital. It was quite serious and it was quite challenging, certainly for my wife Carmel and the kids. I was in bed, so I was lucky that I was home and in bed, and certainly my family was there, so I was probably pretty lucky. If it had happened somewhere else, I could have been in a lot of trouble. So I've had 3 seizures, and part of it was that I was talking to my doctor, saying we've got to try and just check this medication, see if we can reduce the amount of it a bit. And being typical of me, I thought that meant don't take it. Fortunately, I wasn't bad enough to not be allowed to drive and all that sort of stuff that clearly you can see might be a consequence. I think now that I've spoken to lots of people who know a bit about it, it is seen as something people are kind of almost ashamed of. Oh, I don't want to have epilepsy. And which is one of the reasons I'm sort of interested in doing this, because I don't feel ashamed at all. It's not my fault. And I really want to, if I can help people deal with it and recognise it, and other people perhaps make some sort of contribution to helping us look after the next lot. Oh, there's no doubt with the epilepsy thing, I've been very fortunate in my own way. It seems to be controllable and not quite as bad or serious as others, but when you see particularly kids who get it really early, and it does impact their what they can do in life. Can they play footy? Can they do sport? Can they go to school? Can they, and the older people, can you drive? Can you do all those sorts of things? So, I mean, that's again one of the motivations for me, is that I want everyone to realise that this is a lot worse even than I've got, but I have got it, so you've got some chance of getting it because I'm just one of you. I'm really just want to add my voice to it and whatever I can do for us to raise some dough, or just get some interest or understanding or acceptance, or even if the people out there who are suffering the shame of saying I don't want to tell anyone I've got epilepsy, let's work together, and people keep it to themselves. They're, as I said, somewhat ashamed of it in a sense. But what I want everyone to do is to come out, let's talk about it, talk to people about it, because if we do, that's our chance of perhaps getting on top of it. I think it's far better if you do accept it and talk about it and get out there in it, because it's not something to be ashamed of. Almost certainly most things in the world that happen, we're better off if we talk about them, if we're open about them and discuss them and share the problem rather than just suffer it ourselves. And don't be ashamed of it. I think that's a really important part of what I'm trying to say.